Hey, welcome in, everybody. It is time for episode 424 of Three Guys Before the Game. Thank you so very much for being with us, and thank you so very much for thinking about us. I say thinking about us because we received numerous correspondences electronically, in person, text in the last 24 hours as to where was the normal Thursday show. Like, there were some people that were jonesing for a Three Guys Before the Game.
I got one of those today.
You did. Like, where's the show? Yeah. So,
I mean, it wasn't like, boy, I missed the show. It was like, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Tony said, but.
So what
angry.
happened?
Angry?
Yeah.
Angry.
What happened was we had a scheduling conflict, and I mean, just transparency, right? Put it on Hugs. I mean, that's the reason why it didn't happen. And it wasn't his fault. I mean, we tape his television show on Thursdays, and it just is based upon, when that is, and it was 1 o'clock yesterday. So we couldn't start at our normal 12:30 because I had to be there. And then the senator has an assigned duty at 2:30 in the afternoon, And so I was like, I couldn't come back here at like 1:20 and do a show that was going to be like 45 minutes. Why? Because that would have cheated you. That show's not about cheating.
Did you see what he did?
What'd he do?
He's beautiful.
He just put it on you?
Well, he put it on Hugs, then put it on me, and it was him that wasn't here. I mean, I was here at 12:15. Were you?
I was here, yeah.
Yeah, so it was actually him of the three guys that wasn't here. It was him. But he just put it on others.
Would have been here if it wasn't for Hugs.
Well, you had a choice. I told Hugs you'd do it later.
Yeah, that'd have been good. Sorry, Hugs, can't make it.
The title of our episode, ladies and gentlemen, is The Big Announcement and UAB Preview.
Poor UAB. They kind of got relegated there.
If only UAB had been a couple days earlier.
Yeah, UAB, we could have blown you out, but it's all about timing. So we'll talk about that in just a second. Three Guys Before the Game is brought to us by Burdett Camping Center, the only warranty forever RV dealer in all of West Virginia. Visit them at burdettcamping.com. That is burdettcamping.com. Like it says, you buy it and the warranty lasts forever on one of their recreational vehicles. It's also brought to us by Comax Business Systems, your full-service Konica Minolta dealer. Go to Comax Business Systems at comaxwv.com. I'm going to use my DJ days and look at the post on this song and say, ladies and gentlemen, this is Three Guys Before the Game. All right, so if you take a wide shot of us here, Taylor, if you would, you could see it has been a week full of Christmas gifts. We just continue to receive stuff, and it's blowing our mind. And what really blew our mind earlier this week is when Three Guys Before the Game received its first illicit package from a listener.
You might want to be kind of on the down low on that because interstate transportation of
some things you can and cannot send.
Medicinal items might be
I'll give you a hint.
an issue.
I'll just give you a hint. These are gummies. They are big, bold bears. They are 4 times bigger than the classic gummy bear. These ones are legal because Hoppy said he wouldn't take an illegal one, so the guy sent those over for Hoppy. The other ones, I'll just leave it at that. Thank you, Boulder, Colorado.
Hello! If later in the show, one member of our team says, no, man, the game sucked. Let's get something to eat. Let's go to Gene's.
Yeah, that could happen. I will tell you this. No one on this set is currently under the influence of anything except those stupid peanut M&Ms that we already cracked open.
Yeah, my stomach hurts.
They're about a quarter done right
did you
now. We
already
haven't
hit
even
them?
gone. Yeah, we already started popping those things. We'll get into that a little bit later on. Okay, so
Yeah, hard to stop.
Hard to stop once they're open.
Yeah.
So since the last time we got together, the Three Guys Before the Game went on a field trip. And the field trip was to the brewery where Hoppy's beer is currently in production. And the three of us went over to take a look and get an idea how things were going.
Inspect, really. I mean, look out.
That was an inspection.
Looking out for the product.
Taylor, can you put just the still photo up, Taylor? Yeah. So there's the three of us with Bill of Chestnut Brew Works, who is smarter than the totality of the three guys that are with him in the picture.
Yeah, he's
Times four.
Times four. Like he's got his doctorate in this world, and he was delightful, and his guys there were delightful and fun, and they explained the whole process to us. And the beer literally is being made, and it's sitting right now. It's doing its thing, as they say. So here's the deal. Do we go right into the deal?
Sure.
Here's the deal that everyone's been waiting for. And I'm just going to preface this by saying this. Okay? Obviously, a lot of us, the three of us, know a lot of people. And people that listen to the show, and we see them a good number of times, and we see them all the time. And we have been asked since we announced that we were going to do something, a live event, first ever live event, that people are asking us, okay, I just want to buy the ticket. I want to buy the ticket. Okay, hey, can you put two aside? Can you just take one or two? So the answer to that, to our friends, is no, we're not. I don't care who you are. Don't care if you're my wife. Don't care if you're my kid. Don't care if you're Hoppy's friend. I don't care. We're not caring. And here's why. Because it wouldn't be fair. Because we're only going to do 50 tickets for this event, just 50. And so this is absolutely luck of the draw, or how quick you do it. And then they're gone. Okay? So I'm gonna let you know exactly what's going to happen on the 6th of January. And we'll go from there. I think it's going to be a really, really fun time. This is an experience. It's not just like we're going to just sip the beer. I mean, the creation, seriously, the creation behind this was to make it an experience and an event so that when you walk out, you'll go like, man, that was super fun.
That was fun. Had a good time.
Yeah. So we're going to, as Bill the brewer said, I just bring the fun.
He did. That was one of the all-time great lines.
Yeah,
That's why he likes what he does, because he said, I get to bring the fun.
Yeah. So we're just going to bring a fun event. So here's the deal. On January the 6th at 3 p.m., not 3:01 and not 3:02. We're starting hard on time at 3 p.m. We're going to start in this building. We're going to be downstairs in our Hall of Fame room, and there will be 50 chairs. And the three of us will be there, and we'll be on stage. Little stage. It's a mini stage. It's like a stuh. It's not even a full stage. And we're gonna have mics, 3 mics, and there'll be 1 mic for the crowd. And you folks, the 50, you guys, you're the show. So you ask us any question you want to ask us, and we're just going to do a Q&A.
So it's like live textual healing?
Exactly right. Live textual healing. And we just kind of talk and, have fun and do the whole thing. And, I'm thinking about probably recording it. I'm thinking about that now, probably recording it, saving it, posting it, producing it.
I just got nervous. That makes me nervous.
Dude, you've done like debates with like people.
Well, I was nervous then too.
Anyway, so we do that for an hour. We do that for an hour.
Exactly.
After the hour, we come up 1 flight of stairs to this studio, and you can have your picture made with us here in the studio. You probably sit right in this chair. We'll flank you. You get your picture made, and we'll get it to you later. And then we go across the street.
Walking.
Literally. You're going to walk across the street.
So what time is it now when we're walking?
4 o'clock.
Okay, 4 o'clock. So from 3 to 4, we're here.
Yeah.
Live textual healing, picture session.
That's going to have to be quick. 50 guys to get their pictures, 50 girls, 50 guys, however it turns out to be.
Yeah,
We'll have to do that. We'll have to do it quicker. We'll think of something. We'll think of something.
All right, we're already off track.
Yeah, we are. How are we going to do that in an hour?
We're already off track.
Wait a second. Do we need to start it earlier? Do we need to start at 2
No,
here?
we just got to move.
I see the planning is occurring for the event.
What do you think? I think they want to come in the studio and get their picture, don't they?
Probably.
Okay, here it is. Time subject to change. And
Okay, so
I do know this. We have to be across the street at 4:00 inside the Apothecary Ale House.
All right, so we're walking across the street.
We're inside the Apothecary Ale House at 4:00, and Hoppy's beer is pulled.
First pull.
First pull. The recipients, as part of their ticket, get 3 beers. No cost. 3 beers.
Okay, so when you buy your ticket,
That's what you're buying.
Okay.
You're buying 3. You're buying 3 beers. And then you can't just drink on an empty stomach. So multiple world champion barbecuer, Luke Darnell.
literally world champion.
Yeah, multiple times. Of Old Country Smoke barbecue. He's in Virginia, but he's a Westover guy. He will prepare 4 meats: ribs, chicken, pulled pork, and brisket, and maybe a side or two, probably a side or two, and you'll get to eat that there inside the ale house. You get yourself.
So now we're up to you got 3 beers and you get a plate of food from the world champion barbecuer Luke Darnell.
There also is going to be opportunity for Luke to give us barbecue tips, like how not to screw stuff up. And Luke's a great dude. Okay, so we do that, and we just hang out for 2 hours, right?
Yeah.
So, hey, listen, we don't have to tell you. So that's a private event from 4 to 6. Those are the only people, just the 50 and us guys.
Is that time frame the Hoppy Hour portion of this?
That's the Hoppy Hour.
Okay.
Well done.
Happy
Hour.
Then at
Do I have to be there?
Yeah, whole time.
So then what happens is on you get a swag bag. A swag bag is going to have a 3 guys before the game hat, 3 guys before the game mug, and a 3 guys before the game shirt. All nice stuff. And then when you leave, you'll get a growler of Hoppy's beer. Right? And you'll take that home with you. And then there'll be a QR code on the growler.
Oh, you going to tell them what's on the QR code, or you want that to be a surprise?
There'll be a surprise QR code. So that's the event, okay? And at 6 p.m. that night, when 4 to 6 is over, at 6 p.m. that night, then the ale house will open its doors again for the general public.
And the drunks will be escorted out.
Well, we're hoping everyone
Responsible.
And then Brad and I, at least Brad and I don't know if Hoppy will do it or not, we're going to go behind the bar and we're going to be guest bartenders.
We are?
Yeah.
I thought just you were doing that.
No, you're doing it too. We're going to pull some drafts. I might have one of those little things like a garter belt that goes around there. I might do that. And then we'll just kind of hang out. And that's the night. And that's the night before Kansas. So
that's a pretty full event. So that's a Friday, January 6th.
Yeah.
Starting at 3 p.m.
As of right now, might start a little earlier. When you get your invite.
Private textual healing, tour of the studio, potential picture if there's time.
If there's time, get your picture made.
Head over, 3 beers, 3 Hoppy Kirch ales.
Mm-hmm.
World champion barbecue, 4 different meats plus a side from Luke Darnell, plus maybe some barbecue tips if you want them.
Mm-hmm.
And a swag bag.
Full
of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good.
That is good.
All right, that's pretty good. I like it.
So,
and there's only 50 of these available? There's 50 tickets available.
50 tickets. 50 tickets. I think they put a limit. What did he say, dude? Is it minimum? We don't want, someone's not getting in there and buying all. I think we're going to put a limit that you can't buy like all of them and then do something not nice, like try to sell more. But anyway, here's the deal. Ticket price for this event experience that you probably will never forget. I would say it's probably fair. This
or maybe
world
not remember
premiere.
very well.
World premiere. Ticket price is $250 American. No Bitcoin, no Dogecoin, no euros, nothing. American money, $250. That's the experience price. And the tickets will go on sale exactly at 9 a.m. this coming Monday morning. 9 a.m. this coming Monday morning. So that's the 12th.
Okay, December 12th, 9 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Tickets go on sale.
Mm-hmm.
Only 50 available.
50.
Okay.
And here's the URL. the URL, the website that you go to, the number 3 guysbeforethegame.com. 3 guysbeforethegame.com. You go there, it takes you to the Event Groove page, and it'll take everything. There'll be a full explanation of what it is that you're getting, payment information, boom. When the 50 are gone, that's that. See ya.
You've put a lot of work into this.
I have put minimal work in comparison to the gentleman that has organized this event for us.
True.
Who has made the senator and I just go like, whoa.
He's a world champion as well. Multiple world champions at this event.
Okay.
He's unbelievable.
He'll be there, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely, he'll be there. We'll introduce him, although he'll try.
I haven't met him.
He loves to be a corner. Well, he doesn't like you. But no, he's the greatest guy. We've known him for years, and it just by a timing situation allowed him to get involved with this right now. And so that's it. The number 3 guysbeforethegame.com. I hope you win. You get one of the 50, and then we'll rock and roll here.
All right.
You good, Hoppy? You good with that?
I'm good because I didn't have to do anything.
Just be hoppy.
Oh, I mean, I did participate in the brewing, of course, when we visited the brewery.
You did participate in the brewing.
I did participate, as we all did.
Later on,
The beer and the food's going to be strong.
Going to be what?
Strong.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be very good.
But, go ahead. Nothing.
No, what were you going to say?
No, I'm just saying I'm going to have 3 beers.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll go to my head.
It's not going to be a harsh beer, by the way. The alcohol content is going to be between 4.8 and 5.2%. So
yeah, that's still got a little kick.
So 3 beers and a growler, right? We say growler.
You're doing 3 beers. You get 3 beers.
And a growler to go when you leave.
Correct.
Got to keep that cold.
Well, they won't give it to you till you walk out.
That's why we're doing it at a place that can handle that.
Oh.
They'll have the growlers in the cooler.
All right. Can they get? Well, okay. Go ahead. Never mind.
So we thank our partners, Apothecary Ale House and Chestnut Brew Works, Grace at Apothecary and Bill over at Chestnut Brew Works. They'll both be there as well that day, plus other partners.
Bill ought to answer questions. I mean, Bill's
fantastic.
The guy.
Yeah, I think we do him.
Yeah.
We do a Q&A with him inside the ale house that night. He'll explain the whole thing of
what went into it and the process and the mixture. Yeah.
It was fascinating to go there and see how they do it. I had no idea. It was really pretty cool.
Yeah. Later in this episode, we'll show you the video of when Hoppy literally cleans out the mash from the tank at the brewery.
Well, I was,
you're
taking on some responsibility.
Why not? Your name's on it.
This will be fun. This is going to be a good time.
All right, textual healing coming up a little bit. First off, West Virginia will play the second game of a 4-game homestand tomorrow evening in the rare 6 p.m. tip-off at the Coliseum. Really good game. You got it top. What's UAB as of right now in Ken Palm today?
38.
So a top 40 matchup of Ken Palm teams. West Virginia continues to rise, and West Virginia's now in the 20s. And they've got the nation's leading scorer in Jordan Jelly Walker. 26 points a game, 25-7, 25-8, call it 26. Last year, Kedrian Johnson gave him a bad game. He was like 6-19, 6-20 from the field, 7 turnovers, 13 points. This year, he's, as I said, he's averaging 26. He had like 38 in his first game against Alabama State this year. So he said he's coming. Just like Dion, remember the last episode? I'm coming.
That's what Jelly said?
Jelly said,
I'm coming?
Last game said, I'm coming.
Tony, Jelly's been coming for the last 3 games. He scored 87 points in the last 3 games. 87 in the last 3 games.
Pretty good. Yeah,
and I think his assisted turnovers like 2-1. I mean, he's a dude.
He's a dude. They got a couple dudes. They got a couple dudes. I did my I don't have my sheets with me, but I did that this morning. They got some dudes. So according to the folks at UAB, to the best of UAB's knowledge, they're the only team in the country that currently has 5 players that have scored over 1,000 career points. Different, they've come from different places. They've come from East Tennessee. But anyway, they won Conference USA last year. They won the Conference USA tournament. Jelly was the player of the year in the league and the tournament MVP last year, and they're good. So this is going to be good.
That was a fun game last year in Birmingham against them.
Stole
it was
it.
NCAA tournament-esque.
Yes.
Good atmosphere, physical back and forth, tight-knit game. That was a fun game.
Stole the game.
Yeah.
Didn't we argue about whether it was an on-campus game? Was that
Yeah, so that was in Birmingham Coliseum,
Yeah.
and
You know, This to me is a game that, because we're going to talk about where this team is right now in West Virginia, but I think this is a game you get at home. Like, this is a good challenge, but you're home. I know they're after you after last year, but if you're going to have success this year, I think you got to get this one.
You're right. You got to get this one. Yeah, you need to get this one. They're really interesting. So let's go through some of the things they do well and where the matchup sits, because I thought the matchup against Navy was all West Virginia. The style of play benefited West Virginia 100%, and I think that played out on the floor. Even though Navy did a great job of battling and getting that game to within 5, they just couldn't handle what West Virginia does. UAB may be a little bit different. They're right now, guys, Tony, and it backs up what you just said about their scores. They're in the 99th percentile nationally in offensive rating. So they're very efficient and good offensively. They're going to move 7th nationally in pace. So they're going to want to get up and down the floor. Stop me if you've heard this before from a former Hugs assistant, very good on the offensive glass. So they're going to get and hit the boards. They are also very good. These are two of the best teams in the country in getting points off turnovers. So in some ways, it's almost like looking in the mirror here. Who turns it over more? Who can convert more of those points into turnovers, because both do at a very high level. You go through their numbers in every category. I've got like 75 categories in front of me right now. They're all green, meaning they're in the top 5, 6, 10% nationally of teams. So they're going to be very good. This is a heck of a challenge. Here's where West Virginia has to step forth. Their strength of schedule isn't anywhere near what West Virginia's been yet, and West Virginia should be by far the best team they've played. Up until now, the only team not rated 111 or higher that UAB has played has been Toledo in the second game of the year. UAB lost 93-85. So they haven't been tested a whole lot schedule-wise. This is a whole different animal for them coming into the Coliseum against this West Virginia team.
Hop, you were asking, like, is this a good win that if you get a win against these guys? So I think this is how this would be defined generally by the people looking at the season once it's over. I think they would look at it if West Virginia were to win this game and say that's a nice solid win. If West Virginia were to lose this game, they would call it a bad loss.
Really? Okay.
I think so. If you're an NCAA tournament team, as Brad said, you don't lose this game at home. You beat this team because these guys are going to go have a good year, so it becomes a nice solid win. But it would be a bad loss. You can't lose at home.
Here's one of the things to watch. One of the things to watch, we'll talk about this all year. UAB's in the 95th percentile in free throw attempts per game. They get to the line a lot. What do we say about West Virginia? West Virginia puts the opponent on the line a lot, in the bottom 20 teams nationally in terms of putting your opponent at the free throw line. This is going to be physical. Both teams are getting up and down. Free throw line and points at the free throw line are going to be a massive key here.
Might be the biggest stat of the game. We saw it last week against Xavier, that they outshot West Virginia significantly at the foul line. Why? Because they have the ability to get to the line. Navy did not. Navy was one of the worst teams in the country at getting to the line. So
second percentile nationally.
Second percentile.
They just didn't get to the line.
So here's the deal, folks. So Saturday night about 9:30, when you're like looking at the box score, potentially, this is a possibility. You might be screaming and saying, how in the world did UAB shoot fill in the blank? 12, 15, 17 more shots than West Virginia did at the foul line. That's one of these kind of games. And West Virginia needs to know that going in, because that could be a massive swing in this game. So if UAB is going to get to the line as they normally do, West Virginia better find a way to get to the line.
And Walker, who's going to get to the line, is a good free throw shooter.
90-some
percent.
Yeah, 90-some percent. Yeah, it's fantastic. So this is good.
They shoot it as a team pretty well. They shoot 77% as a team. So they get there and make them. To reference your Xavier point there about free throws, plus 12 points Xavier was at the line. That was a massive difference in that game.
Huge difference. Huge difference. Yeah. This will be good.
I'll tell you what stood out to me so far about this West Virginia team, though, and Brad and I were texting back and forth during the Navy game, and I know Navy was not a good matchup for Navy in that game, but that the difference between last year and this year is already evident, and that is there were times last year, Brad, where West Virginia, you were looking on the court saying, who's going to score? Who's going to score the basketball? Where are the points going to come from? And they are a lot deeper this year into who can score. I mean, you got 5, 6, or 7 guys that have the potential of having big nights. So you don't have that same concern, I don't think. They went a little bit cold there in the mid part of the second half against Navy, but then they pushed out of it, started hitting shots again. They shot really well in that game. Again, you got to consider the opponent, but you just have more confidence that there's more guys that can score.
Here was the stat. Yeah, you're right. I agree with you. Here's the stat that jumped out to me against Navy. I should go back and see when the last time this happened. West Virginia had 22 assists on 32 baskets.
Really good.
That's really good.
Yeah.
And in past years, we've sat here and lamented the fact that why does the ball stick? Why can't they move the ball? Why they just pound it in the floor and look into the post? This team seems to move the ball a little bit better. The challenge for this team is going to have to be on the defensive end. The last 5 games, West Virginia is just in the 41st percentile when it comes to defensive rating. So that's as the opponents have started to get a little bit better. West Virginia has shown some cracks defensively. Its offensive rating is really good. It's in the top 5% nationally. So it's scoring, to your point. They're assisting, as we just said. So the offensive end is pretty good right now. Defensively, it's got to tighten that stuff up a little bit, though.
I think mentally, West Virginia, I don't want to say they went through the motions at all against Navy, but they were a heavy 18-point favorite. Navy plays a style of basketball that makes you into a different mode of defending because of the backdoor cuts, and it works very well for them, and that's fine. I do think West Virginia may not have had its 100% focus, concentration at the ultimate in that game. I think this game they will be told that UAB averages 90 points per game, that UAB is 7-1, that Jelly Walker is coming in here to punch them right in the face. And I think you're going to get a A-plus effort from West Virginia. Now, Kedrian Johnson got into early foul trouble the other night. He cannot get 2 fouls and go take a seat in this game for West Virginia to have long-term success, because that puts a ton of stress on Joe Toussaint. And so Kedrian Johnson really needs to be very judicious at the start of this game to see what the whistle is going to do. If Jelly Walker blows by you in the first couple of minutes, okay, fine. Here's 2 points. Do that instead of reaching or sticking your leg out and getting a quick blocking foul. You don't want to do that. I'd wait to see where the whistle's going to be and then start to play.
I would think these guys, West Virginia, will know right away that they're in a game. I have a feeling UAB is going to come in and be physical and aggressive. You're going to know right away. I think the other night, West Virginia jumped out early, blazing hot, shooting 70% for most of that first half. I think they knew they had them, and Navy just doesn't quit. A lot of teams there would have just said, okay, not our night in the Coliseum. We'll take our check. We'll see you. Navy obviously just does not. They keep coming back at you. Hug did something interesting there the other night. He played Keedy Johnson with 2 fouls.
I know he did.
Right? You mentioned those 2 fouls?
Well, Hug's way ahead of the analytics game.
Well, that's a big thing in the analytics community. Is
I know.
They say more coaches should play with 2. The likelihood of getting to 3 doesn't happen very often. West Virginia 270th in the country out of 361, 360 teams playing with 2 fouls. So that's interesting. He went with it the other night. Now, Florida did it against West Virginia and it backfired on them.
Yes,
they had their big guy get 4 fouls in the first half, killed him for the bigs inside. But I thought that was interesting that he went that route the other night.
You remember
Hold on real quick. Was that just situationally that game? Or is Hugs looking ahead saying there's going to have to be some times when he's got to go with 2. I've got to get him comfortable being out there playing with 2.
Could be.
Could it be a look ahead there?
I need to ask him that.
Yeah.
If I asked him about it, I'd say, Hugs, you played Kedrian Johnson out there with 2 fouls in the first half. He'd go like, no, he didn't. I said, no, you really, no.
Yeah, I don't think he'll give us a straight answer there on what that was.
He had 2? I go, yeah, he had 2. I don't know. I don't know what those guys are doing on the bench. Shouldn't have put him out there.
Larry put him back in there.
Larry put him back out there, yeah.
If only they'd kept Jerry Weston in the first half of those 2 fouls.
In Louisville, right? Yeah, exactly. 3 guys before the game is brought to us by Comax Business Systems, your full-service Konica Minolta dealer. Go to Comax Business Systems at comaxwv.com. That's KOMAXWV.com. Just had a phone call today with some folks about data being absconded. Can't let it happen to you, man. If you're a business owner How good is the safety and security of your data? Comex Business Systems will manage it for you. 24/7 remote monitoring, giving you the peace of mind that you need. They've got your back. They also can manage your voice systems, your phone systems, the services, all of that provided by Comex. 10 times the elite dealer in the state of West Virginia and the only dealer ever in the state to receive that honor from ENX magazine. Don't know who the 50 people are who are going to have the opportunity to enjoy the event with us, potentially. It's possible. Don't know if it's going to happen or not, but possibly someone will drive up in a recreational vehicle from Burdett Camping. There is some parking in the area here. They'll pull up. All of a sudden, hey, here's a guy just pulls out in an RV. Probably got it at Burdett Camping, knowing that when you buy an RV from Burdett, the warranty lasts forever. As long as you own it, the warranty is there. It's burdettcamping.com, located in Winfield. If you're an RV owner already, parts, sales, and service available to you at Burdett Camping. I would imagine this is the time of the year that you're getting stuff fixed up. If you are heading south or you just put it away for the winter, that's a good deal. burdettcamping.com. Visit them. You guys ready to do some we got a lot of stuff going on here. As I told you guys, I told these guys before we started rolling tape, I said there's a lot of pieces to this show. This isn't just a standard show. We got gifts, we got all just kinds of stuff. Break it down, textual healing, ladies and gentlemen. Hoppy, like if David Saab, the guy who produced this song, is there at the event, and like he plays the song, like would you go up on stage, maybe do like a freestyle dance or maybe a freestyle rap or something like that to this?
Nobody wants that.
I'm Hoppy with a double P.
You could. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants to see me dance. I guarantee you that. Like even my wife, like we're at home and I'm playing around, I start to dance. She goes, "Don't do that."
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Don't
too.
do that. Stop. Just stop.
Yeah.
Don't embarrass yourself.
So this will be live on January 6th. You won't need to bring us printouts. We're just going to send a mic around and
we're
go
going to
live.
pass the mic around. This will be the part of the Q&A deal. People can ask whatever they want.
As opposed to this show, which is not live.
All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. First up, a big, my voice hurts, my throat hurts a little today, so I'm not screaming.
Uh-oh.
So hello. Anyway, hopefully this text goes through and I'm not blocked and banned from the show. I sent the long text last week about excuses. Maybe I should have slept on it. So if you three clowns get this message, accept my apologies for being so testy. Since the Kircheval is coming out soon, you will need something to pair it with. Be on the lookout for a package. I called Metro News to get the correct address, and the sweet lady told me to address it to three guys and not just Tony, because she said Tony is rotten and will keep it for himself.
Yep, very good.
Well established.
Onto your brand.
Yep. Others know it.
Yep, not just us.
Signed, Brad's Lawrence, Kansas bus buddy, Jay in Charlotte.
Oh, it's our guy Jay that sent that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what he's talking about there, we went to the Kansas game a number of years ago, and there was like a shuttle bus that took us from the hotel to the game. Jay introduced himself on that. We were on the same shuttle bus there, Hoppy,
okay.
Leaving the fog.
Jay's terrific. So
I
called him upon receipt of his gift, spoke to him this morning. He sent us, I think, just unbelievable stuff. So there's this butcher in Kentucky, and everything is organic, no antibiotics, nothing. He sent us fillets, he sent us burgers, and he sent us sausage.
How about that? Thanks, Jay.
Unbelievable. And it was, by the way, the folks there at Porter Road Butcher Place, that stuff, you guys do a hell of a job packing. I mean, it was frozen solid when I got it.
You've still got it?
What do you mean I got it? Yeah, it's in the freezer upstairs. You guys are all getting your divvy. Here's the.
I don't want the. All due respect, I don't want the packing slip. I want the actual fillets.
Here's the shipping list. I just want to make sure.
Paper for?
Yeah.
The actual fillets.
Thank you. By the way, Jay's a doctor.
Fair.
Jay's a doctor.
Thank you,
Hoppy.
Jay. Good dude.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Unbelievable. Hey, guys, Brian from Williamstown here. First off, I want to simply say thank you for sharing the GoFundMe page that was set up for my family. It's been the hardest few months of our lives, and it has taken a burden off of our shoulders knowing our mortgage will be paid and things like that will be taken care of. So thank you to our Mountaineer family. Hopefully, I can get one of those coveted Kirchhoff event tickets to say thank you in person. I hope you can, too.
Congratulations to the Yellow Jackets as well in Williamstown. Class A state champions.
Rolling along.
Yep.
Once again, that URL for those tickets, 9 a.m. on Monday, the number 3, and then 3guysbeforethegame.com.
Is it? We're not going to have a Taylor Swift situation, are we? And
What
the
does that
thing's
mean?
going to crash and all kinds of chaos at 9 a.m.?
I don't think so. I mean, this company is very reputable. They do stuff internationally. So I think they can do, stuff there. Yeah. Texter, I'm curious to your initial thoughts on Ren Baker. His first presser, he comes off as very likable. One thing he said that I think will play a huge dividend is that he's used to having to punch above the weight class to stretch dollars and be efficient with resources. West Virginia has always been having to compete with those above us, so bringing in the mentality will be great in continuing to fight against the blue chip programs and budgets.
What stood out to me about him, and maybe we talked about this last show, and I had him on my public affairs show as well, is that he comes prepared. He's not just mailing it in. He comes prepared. He does his research. And I would imagine anyone that he is meeting with or he's trying to raise money, he will have done his due diligence and be ready to go.
Do you say that because when he opened his interview with you, he said, "You're the first interview I'm doing because I was told this is the show"?
Yeah, that's why he's saying that.
I didn't bring that up.
I did.
He did.
He did also. He said this is the...
Tony's saying that's why you're being so effusive in your praise right now, which is probably a fair point by Tony.
Like, let me ask you this. Like,
you're saying he sucked up to me, therefore
no,
now I'm sucking up to him?
I don't think he sucked up to you. I think he said, in all fairness, he said, I understand this is the show to do it.
Well, isn't it?
I mean, I think your
show
is the best show from 10:06 until noon on Metro News.
Yeah, I mean, this is the actual show right here, but yours is a nice second, and because of the time slot, that probably worked in his favor. I mean, this is the actual show that you would think he would have done first.
When he comes on the podcast, he'll probably say, I do know that this is the #1 most listened to sports talk podcast in West Virginia.
Maybe the region.
Good to see you.
Closing in on world.
Let's go out to the West Coast. Hey, Scopes, Spreads, and the Dairy Farmer. Since a texter mentioned gummies, I figured I'd offer to supply them. See, I was born and raised in West Virginia, but now I own and operate a recreational cannabis farm in Oregon. If you guys would like a cannabis-infused care package of snacks, just have Taylor go to a post office box, get it in his name, and send me the address. And I'll get something in the mail for you. And don't worry, if the package gets caught by the fuzz, just break this phone with a hammer, throw the battery and the phone in different public trash cans, and deny you've ever known Taylor. It's no big deal.
This person sounds to me like perhaps they've done other shipments and they know how to do it, but I think it's a good idea to have Taylor handle this.
All kidding aside, thanks for doing the show. It keeps me connected to the state all the way out on the left coast. Derek in Oregon.
We are making a lot of contacts in a lot of different areas with a lot of different product placement.
That's what we try and say to the advertisers. I mean, my God, why wouldn't you advertise on this show?
In all seriousness.
And by the way, you need to stop saying most listened to in this state. It's clear we are well outside these state borders.
Yeah, I think it's the most listened to podcast on West Virginia University sports. Just that. Texter, hello. I know this is quite long-winded, but I have to share a story. Feel free to abridge. I was in Morgantown Wednesday morning visiting from Beckley. As I drove down Pattison on my way to my destination, I decided to stop at the Chick-fil-A to grab my requisite spicy chicken burrito.
Wait, breakfast burrito. They have that? Spicy chicken breakfast burrito?
They're terrific.
That's had a few minutes. Hoppy for lunch.
Was not aware of that.
Chicken. That's my lunch. I
had a few minutes to spare before the engagement. As we finished, I turned back onto Pattison. I had not noticed the Burger King sign in the adjacent lot when we pulled in. There it was, big letters, WVU Game Day Parking, $25. Yep. My passenger, not a listener of the show, got a crash course on why I found that funny. At the moment, I decided to find an excuse to go in and play detective on behalf of Three Guys Nation. Having already eaten, I wasn't jonesing for additional nourishment, so I took the chance to make a quick pit stop in the restroom. On my way out, I stopped by the counter, jokingly tried to make small talk with the cashier about the restaurant having to tow all those cars who believed parking at Burger King during game day was as much as their birthright as singing country roads following a win. The young man behind the counter looked at me like I had just escaped from a sanitarium. Instead of taking my cue to walk away with minimal embarrassment, I decided to double down and attempt to clarify my line of questioning. I explained that I had heard on Three Guys that the restaurant had to tow people using their parking lot on game days. This explanation only furthered the skepticism the young man had for my mere presence. His skepticism turned to awkward suspicion when he asked me, quote, who I was with and what was the purpose of my questions here. Who are the Three Guys? I casually referenced the dean, the recent West Virginia Broadcasting Hall of Famer, and everyone's favorite sports handicapper, but alas, this carried no weight at 8 a.m. to someone who quickly dismissed my remarks by asking if I wanted to buy anything. I took this as my invitation to leave. With my head hung in shame, I found my way outside and proceeded with my day. Apparently, the king has no time for the offbeat shenanigans of someone trying to shed light on the parking practices of football and basketball fans. I would not recommend inviting anyone from the Burger King Corporation on the show to be interviewed as part of the 800th episode.
That's, the poor kid there at Burger King is, what do you want? Do you want a 1, a 2, a 4? What do you want? Is it for here to go?
An investigation.
But good job on the person trying to get to the bottom of it.
Well, we got
good
another.
Investigative reporting there.
Charlie and Beckley attached a picture of the desolate Burger King parking lot. 15 minutes. There it is. 15 minutes before Wednesday's game against Navy. May we all find peace in the fact that the owners of those 4 cars were in no way impeded on their quest to eat a Whopper under the alluring buzz of the fluorescent lights in the Burger King dining area. What BK is gaining from prohibiting basketball parking in their chronically oversized parking lot is a mystery to me. I long for a time when local businesses took pride in providing a convenience for its local citizenry. FYI, Burger King does not take money for basketball parking. That game day parking marquee sign is referring to football games. So they'll just tow you on basketball, but they'll charge you for football.
Well, once again, you do not have, I don't know why people think they have a right to park at the Burger King lot to go to a WVU event.
Yeah, solid point. Texter, with all due respect to the Big 12, let me explain exactly how critical proper time zone management can be. My college sweetheart from West Virginia graduated, decided to go to Ball State, Muncie, Indiana for grad school. I stayed behind in Morgantown pushing snowblowers, washers, dryers at Montgomery Ward, the old mall.
Good Ward reference.
As you know, long-distance relationships can be challenging, but the first couple of months that semester was going pretty well until the dreaded fall back in time in late October. The day after the change, I called an hour late. Caught all kinds of grief from the young lady. After apologizing for what seemed like an eternity, we figured out that in Muncie, Indiana, they don't change the clocks. So half of the year they're central, the other half eastern. The moral of the story is the Big 12 could never invite Ball State to join the league. No one would know what time the game started. In the end, the time zone issue proved too much for our relationship to survive. I'm sad to say we went our separate ways. Time zones are not to be trifled with, fellas.
True that.
Are you sure it's time zones that caused the breakup?
Yeah. I don't know,
but he gave an old mall reference in there, too. That was very good.
He gave a Montgomery Ward and the old mall.
That was very good.
Yeah,
really good. Texter says, listening to the Lions interview thinking, Gee better have a plan. Listening to the Ren Baker interview thinking, it was Ollie who had the plan. Great first impression. Let's go. Madden Nitro. Yo, we 3 nicknames. Hearing you guys discuss time zone and watches, you need to add the old newsroom-style clocks to the set. Instead of New York, L.A., and London time, it can be West Virginia Central time. Love you guys.
That's a good idea.
It is.
Those old-school clocks and newsrooms were awesome.
Yeah. We do.
That will be relevant when these other schools, when BYU's in the league, we might need that. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Have them all in there. Actually, better yet, I mean, it'd be nice for us. We should send them to the Big 12 office. They're apparently the ones that don't know the different time zones. We know. We've been translating the damn thing for 10 years. They don't know.
They don't know. Like
they
if they
don't
say
send the clocks to them.
If they say the game is noon Central, they don't know what time it is in
They have no
Eastern.
idea.
So
No, they're
need to have
tuned
a
in at noon
clock.
Central. Yeah, they cannot communicate with anybody at West Virginia for that game because they don't know what time it's starting out here.
Somebody get Muncie on the phone. What time is it?
Send them the clocks.
Get Muncie on the phone. I was told this week that the football schedule is next week.
Oh.
Next week. Hey, three guys, a few episodes ago, you asked fans' response to the university getting money from TV deals. To me, it's less about the money, more about exposure. How many times you have someone say they watched Tavon Austin growing up and it influenced them to pick West Virginia? Right now, what's going to cause Deion Sanders to be successful is all the exposure he's getting. Pastor Holly in Elkview. Yeah, I mean, the exposure is great, but ain't nothing happening without them dollars. Hey, Scope, Spreads, and Hopgasm. Watching my Saints getting beat on Monday Night Football, couldn't help notice something perplexing. Final seconds come off the clock. They cue Country Roads. Any insight as if to it's every game thing in Tampa or how they came about using it? Thanks for all you guys do. Jim in Preston County. Yeah, so they played it. They played Country Roads at the end of the game the other night. And I did see it. And obviously we see it all over we see it literally all over the world. And I do think it's one of the all-time great head shakers, because you would think that when other places sing it, when it said West Virginia, they would put their name in, but they don't. They go West Virginia. It's one of the, I mean, seriously, it's like that, the Mothman, and like Sasquatch. Like, why? I don't explain this to me, right? Well, I do know the Mothman thing. I met him.
You what?
I met him.
Met who?
Mothman.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
I met the dude.
Richard Gere?
No, the actual guy. The actual guy in Pleasants County that did it.
They did what?
Put the suit on and ran around and pretended he was a Mothman.
Oh, like during the Mothman Festival?
No, he's the guy that did it that made people think he really existed.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
It is true.
It's not true. I mean,
It's true. He put on a deal. He put on a suit. And he ran where people were like making out. And that's the thing that started the thing. That people thought, hey, I saw this thing. There's a Mothman out there. Saw the guy. Met him. Know him. Met the guy.
I know the Mothman.
Met him. Straight up.
What?
His ex-mother-in-law sewed the suit.
What now?
His ex-mother-in-law sewed the feathered suit that he would put on. He put it on and then bang the hell like out of the back of cars and then run through the thing. And people said, oh, my gosh, there's a Mothman.
When did this happen?
When that happened, whenever that was. Is that the 60s? In the 60s? Is when it was reported? Yes or no? Hoppy, the answer is yes. I'll tell you more afterward, but yeah.
All right. I'm going to double check that.
Well, I know what the text will be about next week. Cue the Mothman text.
I never heard that. Okay. All right.
I'm not BSing you.
Okay.
Met him twice.
All lined up.
Did he have his clown suit on?
No, he had a suit on. It was at the
Who
Green.
in the world dresses up with a
He was a kid.
suit that his mother-in-law makes him and goes and pounds on cars while young people are making out?
Well, apparently the Mothman does.
He was jacking people trying to scare him. It was a gag. It was a goof. And then the thing just took off.
Didn't somebody jump out and tackle his ass? Like, what are you doing? Stupid
This is just
Mothman.
stupid podcast, this show.
All right, give me more info later, because this is the first I've heard of
This is
that.
going to lead the show tomorrow at 10:06.
Hey. And I said, dude, so why don't you? Literally wanted to do the interview with him. Say, okay, man, lay it out. How did it happen? What the whole thing was. And the reason he hadn't done it for years is because that brings incredible economic boom
Mothman
Is it
Festival.
Boone? Is it Boone? Yeah.
Boone.
It brings an incredible
T. Boone Pickens.
Yeah, it brings an incredible T. Boone Pickens to that area, and they have all these festivals, and they make a lot of. He wasn't going to come out and go like, "Yo, it was me." He just like let the mystery live on.
Okay, one other thing, and I'll drop it. You sure it wasn't? There was already the Mothman myth, and then he dressed up as the Mothman.
No, not what he told me. He was the dude.
All right.
And a very good chance you've dealt with him in the state capitol because he was involved in government.
Oh, wait to check this. I'm going to check this out.
Hey, three guys, maybe I'll have him show up in the suit for the Q&A we do on January the 6th. Hey, three guys, longtime texter. I just discovered the live feed of the pod. It's the best version. One of the biggest differences between Deion Sanders and most others is honesty. In the long version of the video you discussed, a player had asked if he was keeping any position coaches, strength and conditioning coaches. Deion says probably not. He also mentioned the fact that he said he's bringing his players. Neither of these actions are unique. What's unique is you don't normally hear a coach saying it during the change, which is true, right? A lot of we sees.
The first reported sighting of the Mothman, a humanoid creature, was November 1966.
Okay, just like I said. What part of what I told you so far has been proven?
So the person today is 70-some years old?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Met his wife, too.
Mrs. Mothman?
Well, you identify the person who made the costume as his former mother-in-law, so I don't think this is the first Mrs. Mothman.
Well, you go run around in Mothman suits, your wife might leave you.
Probably. Texter, Thermos, Spreads, and Hoppy 3. Very interesting rotations early on this season. With all due respect to Thermos, Hoppy, and Three Guys Nation, I'd like to know what the only athlete in the room thinks of Huggs' rotation. Is it possible? He's talking to you, Senator.
No, what?
Is it possible that we can go 10 deep? Keep up the good work, gentlemen. Mason from Mason County. P.S. I do have land, but I pay the taxes.
Of course you do. History tells us the rotation will get shortened as you get into Big 12. Right? That's what it tells you.
Well, and then, Jose Perez. I'm being told that Jose Perez could get the green light of eligibility next week as well.
That's a change then. That's new updated information?
Yes.
I like Steve.
Not that he's going to play next week, but that he's going to be able to practice and get ready to go.
That's a change from what I had heard last week, so that's the time frame has moved up.
What'd you hear?
That it may be a surprise if he happened before the first of the year.
Well, I asked the head coach. So
M&Ms now have replaced the Thermos.
I asked the head coach the other day, yes or no, would Perez play before the end of December?
And he said yes to that?
He said no.
Oh, yeah.
Then I talked to someone else on the staff who said yes.
Did you hear that? I like the Stevenson comment.
What?
After one of the games, maybe after whatever game it was, ask about the rotation. He says, yeah, we had a 4-guard rotation. He says, I don't think that's a good rotation. I didn't like it very much. I wonder if he tells
Coach Stevenson said that?
Yeah.
Love that. What do you think the most effective rotation is right now?
Emmett?
Yes.
Stevenson?
Yes.
Toussaint?
Yes. 2 more front court guys.
Jimmy?
No.
Really? Woogie?
Yes.
And, Trey Mitchell.
Yes.
So Wiggie's got it higher, huh?
Mm-hmm. Toussaint, Stevenson, Matthews, Mitchell, Wagee. Really good. It's all that group's offensive rating is really good. 99th percentile nationally.
I did a thing last night with Jimmy Bell.
Good feet.
Q&A thing. Jimmy's got terrific feet. I said, okay, dude, this was in a Q&A thing. I said, what'd you weigh when you came? He said 360.
No.
Mm-hmm. 360. And so what do you weigh right now?
3.
No. He's lost, what the hell was it? I think he's 265.
Wow. Really?
Mm-hmm. I think that's what he said.
Lost 100 pounds?
280. Is he 280? No, he's 280. He's 280.
80 pounds.
Yeah.
That's some serious work he's put in. That's pretty impressive. Dude, that's pretty impressive. Drop 80?
Jeez.
Good for
Think
him.
about that.
Good for him.
Think about that, man. Unbelievable.
As you pound M&Ms.
Yeah.
Andrew in Flemington writes, Dear Three Guys, I have a business idea I'd like to propose. You guys should just open up your own bar. Beers, boars, and bets. Live sportsbook, homemade West Virginia barbecue, and local beer. You all could serve up the Kirchhoff and everyone's first favorite, the Pete Thamel.
It does cover all 3.
That's pretty good.
Get
That's
that
pretty
boar's
good,
head. Get that boar's head up there, and you're on the side, like making book.
Legally, of course.
Legally.
That's pretty good, Andrew.
That is. I had a dream about Pete Thamel. He's in my head. He's in my head bad.
Let me just tell you something. Thamel ain't got no beer. You got a beer. Pete can have whatever he wants. He ain't got no beer. You should call him up. Hey, Pete, want one of my beers? You don't have one. I do. Call him.
You know, you're going to have a beer.
You know what
You're going to have a beer in the marketplace here in 2 weeks.
He tweet out, sources, Kirchhoff has beer. He breaks this story.
First reported by Ross Dellinger.
Hey, on the first beer, it's going to be, so there won't be a label or bottle or anything for this first beer because it's coming out of the tap. We're going to have barrels of it, kegs of it, yeah.
It'll be all draft first.
Okay.
Although we did review the canning area at Chestnut Brew Works.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
Well, let's show that video. So right now, the mash has been made. It's now been taken out of the mash tank.
The liquid's been taken.
The liquid's been taken out. And when we were there the other day, Hoppy was brought in to assist with the cleaning of the tank that was holding the grain.
Yeah.
Let's take.
What was
Can
left?
you run that video there, Taylor?
Smoky hops. Get that, work it. Pretend you're back in the farm, dairy farm hop, and that's not.
Yeah, this is right in your wheelhouse
This
here.
is exactly how you were raised.
Yeah.
How's it smell, Hop?
I think it's coming along nicely.
Just another day in the brew. I thought you guys would get a kick out of this.
We've been working on this for how long, guys? We've been working on
20 minutes.
We've been working on this a couple of days.
Couple of days.
My guys and I, we've been up like.
Did you get up early on this?
48 hours.
Did you have to get up early?
Had to get up early.
3:30
Had to get
wake
it
up?
just right.
Yeah.
And they said that it should stay in here a little bit longer. I said no, it's ready. Okay, boys.
That thing out, man. In all seriousness, it's got like it was really neat to see the
Oh, it was.
actual thing, and now that
And how they do it, and
those guys are really neat.
you
That
know
was-
what they say, like what's the key? And I mean, they know the ingredients, they know what you're supposed
It's
to do.
science.
Well, oh yeah, it's a science clearly because you put the yeast in and the reactions happen. They have to keep those tanks though like really clean,
Oh hell yeah,
really clean. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it's neat. We stayed there and worked about 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Did about 10 minutes worth of work.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I told when
They were great.
I walked out with these guys, I said I could do that all day. I just love that stuff.
We did not get a beer though. I thought maybe they'd take us into the bar and have a beer.
No, not yet. Stephen from Morgantown. I just saw a tweet that JT Daniels was getting paid 6 figures in NIL to play here. Also, I want to take back what I said in my last text about the new AD. I feel better after hearing him talk. Thank you, three guys. I mean, that was the number that we had heard about JT Daniels, that he was somewhere in 6 figures, whatever that is. I mean, 6 figures could be $100, 6 figures could be $900.
Will that information ever be publicly available anyway?
Probably
anyhow?
not. Right? Probably not.
But I saw a thing. One of the companies like Open Doors or whatever those companies are, they are preparing a book that they will give to those that subscribe to their services, the schools. And they will say, here's the NIL book. Here's what quarterbacks around the country have gotten.
Oh, really?
Here's what running backs. And I think that's pretty significant.
Yes.
Because we have talked about how do you define this space? Because right now there's so much that's out there that just simply is expanded and not true. So I do think over a period of time that we will come to a number that the general rate for this position in this league is this. I think we're getting there.
I think
I don't know. I don't know how accurate that will be. I don't know how truthful people will be. I don't know. Maybe that gives you a clearer picture than what you have now, which is about as clear as mud. But the other part of that is absent of the reason you get that in pro sports leagues, Hop, is because there's salary caps. Right. So they're slotted in, or at least in baseball's case where there's not, those numbers are readily available. This still has a black market feel to it to some extent.
Yeah.
I don't know that people are going to be willing to tell you what they're paying for quite a while, if certainly not anytime soon, I wouldn't think.
You're probably right. I just think that now it is such a huge part of recruiting and transfer, yet it's an unknown part. Right? I mean, before in recruiting, you're like, well, they're on this kid, but somebody else is on this kid, and, here's the connection. They're talking to the dad, and you could find out some basic stuff. But now, this important part of retention and recruiting, you don't know. Yet at the same time, the coach is talking to the player, and the player is saying, they're negotiating the amount. And then that player may be negotiating with somebody else. So it's this huge part of what is college sports now, but you don't know what it is.
But those schools know. And I have a feeling this will go like everything. I mean, what's something worth? What's the old line? What's something worth?
What somebody's willing to pay
Whatever
for it.
somebody's willing to pay for it. And that's part of why we've seen, like, just take buy games, for example. Why have non-conference games gotten so out of control in terms of the cost? Because the SEC just said, well, I mean, I don't care what it is, 200,000, fine, we'll go to 400,000. Fine, we'll go to 600. And now everybody else has to come along. So you're having that happen now. I mean, the SEC is going to drive the market here and overpay for certain players, and that's going to push the market up. But I don't know that you'll ever get a great handle. You may hear some specific deals. I don't know how that will become available from a general knowledge standpoint. I question that.
Long-time listener, P1 Jason in Dallas. I guess next to the event that we're going to do, P1 Jason in Dallas is like the first person that ever broke bread with three guys, right? When I had breakfast with him in Lubbock.
Yeah.
I mean, he became the first.
No, we had our friend from Madagascar.
Oh, that's right. Aaron was first up. Yeah. Hey, guys, this is P1 Jason in Dallas. Loving the show. Remember, he had that horrible injury.
Yeah, Thanksgiving, in a hole on the golf course.
Compound fracture of his leg.
Yeah.
Loving the show as I lay around like a gimp for a while. Good news is I haven't been on the meds since Thursday, so I finally can have a beer again. Let's just say I'm making up for lost time. To shed some light on why Mountain Time gets no love. As someone whose second home is in Phoenix for work, I can say it's at least partially because Arizona thinks they're too good for daylight savings time. So half the year they're Mountain, the other half they're Pacific, and everything changes when that happens in terms of flight schedules, which changes meeting times. Super annoying. Bit of a random question now, which obviously has no place on this well-structured program. But it comes about because yesterday I saw for the first time in a long time a 1995 Buick Roadmaster, also known as a land yacht, which is the car I had to take my driver's test in, including the parallel parking portion. And not to brag, but I passed on the first try in that thing. What car did you guys have to use for your test? I don't have a good guess for Tony, but the Senator seems like a Monte Carlo or a T-top Trans Am kind of guy. Hoppy probably just used a horse in a covered wagon. Love the show.
Which is tough to back a horse.
I had a Mazda.
Couldn't parallel park that,
No.
though.
Mazda GLC hatchback, as I think I took it in. I think.
So I went, this is interesting, it's a good question. I went for my test, if I'm not mistaken, in the most nondescript car ever produced.
Maverick.
Nope.
Matador.
Nope.
A Pinto.
Close, good guess. A
Vega.
Close. Grandpa had a Vega. Chevette. Chevy Chevette, and it was tan. Like, I mean, it just was like invisible. A tan Chevy Chevette. Now, I did upgrade. That's why I took the test in. My first car was a Volkswagen Carmagia.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, snazzy.
It was nice. Now, the only problem, well documented, did grow up in Iowa. Gets a little cold. Heater didn't
work.
No, it didn't work. Had to jerry rig a blower on the dash there, like as a
What kind? Would you have a hair dryer? What'd you have?
Yeah, it's like a hair dryer mounted to the thing to kind of defrost the windshield.
Who were you driving when you got in your snow accident?
What's it? Who,
Yeah, I
Brad?
was in college.
Were you driving?
Yeah.
What were you driving then?
Mitsubishi Montero.
That doesn't sound like it does well in the snow.
No, it does. 4-wheel drive is great.
Oh, is it really?
Might have saved my life because it had I had a ton of headspace there.
Did you
So I
flip?
flipped it, yeah.
Oh, you did flip it.
Oh, yeah, like 3 times.
3?
Oh, yeah, big flip. Which I don't know that there were hills in Iowa. I found one. I found the one. I'm the only one that flipped a car down hills in Iowa. Oh, yeah.
That
Were
scared
you
the hell
hurt?
out of you to this day.
Oh, yeah.
Were you hurt?
No, shockingly, no, nothing. Not a scratch, not a headache, nothing.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah,
So that was your big wreck.
that's my big wreck.
Hey, I tell you what, good thing it didn't happen to you now, right? Because the way your body is, like held down by like a hinge right now, you'd be just a mess. You were athletic back then, bouncy. Mark in Columbus, Ohio, and he did sign it O-HI-UH, Ohio. Guys, I'm thinking about this after listening to this week's Huggins show. Since rivalries are being played less due to conference realignment, how feasible to play the same tournament every year? And all the teams playing the same tournament annually. Seems like it'd be a great way to start a new rivalry. Thoughts? Mark in Columbus. So I don't think that's a bad idea. And I just thought about this. What if every year, early in the season, West Virginia, Ohio State, Pitt, and give me one more. Maryland. I'll just say hypothetically. What if all 4 of you schools came together every year and you just bounced it around? You do it 2 days. You play this team, you play the next year, you play this team. That would be pretty neat.
That would be. That'd be
Get
cool.
a lot of attention.
Yeah.
I'm sure someone who's smarter in this business than I would say, well, that won't work because of this. But I kind of like that concept. Don't have a problem with that. Texter, I have to admit I was a bit skeptical when I first saw Ren Baker named AD, not a name I'd heard before. However, after the last episode, hearing that he is a fellow sneakerhead, I'm behind the guy all the way. Maybe he can get West Virginia some good sneaker collaborations with the Nike people. Go Ears. Could you show us his closet, Nike sneaker closet for this texter, Taylor? Guy's got some shoes, Hop.
Whose is that?
This
This
guy that
texter.
texted us.
Oh, that's his.
Yeah. So you didn't know
Oh, my
that people
gosh.
you didn't know people collected shoes in the last episode. There's someone's example.
I like it.
I didn't. That blows me away. I had no idea.
You know how many pair do you have currently?
2.
You own 2 pair. Good. Matt in Pittsburgh. Hey,
Not-
three
not a
guys.
sneaker guy.
What's that?
Not a sneaker guy.
No, I'm
Not a shoe
like,
guy.
well, that's not okay. I have. This is really interesting. I'm sure. I have the knockoff Nikes, which we
Made an appearance on the last episode, I believe.
I have a pair of running shoes.
Sure.
I have a pair of dress shoes,
Yeah.
and I have a pair of like slip-on summer.
Wait a second.
Docker
Wait,
type
whoa,
shoes.
whoa. Time out. Give me a 30-second time out. You have 1 pair of dress shoes?
Yeah.
You have 1 pair of dress shoes.
I have 1 pair of dress shoes.
Why?
What do I? I have one. I have a
Okay,
pair of dress shoes.
let's say you wear a brown suit. What color shoes you wear?
Black. I don't have a brown suit. I don't have a brown suit. I've.
You got like no casual shoes either? Like comfortable casual shoes?
Yeah, I got 1 pair of semi-comfortable casual shoes, but
So what's that bring us? You got like 4 shoes?
like 4.
Okay, cool.
Actually, five shoes total.
Like when
4
you get
and a
done with... Well, really 10 because there's left and a right. That's cool.
pair of hiking boots.
Yeah, that's fine.
Hiking shoes. Horseshoes.
Hey, tell you what, it helps you not overpack, right?
I'm a good packer.
I'm glad you are. Matt in Pittsburgh writes,
Wait a
hey,
minute, how many do you have?
15, 18 pairs.
Really?
Yeah.
Brad?
A lot.
20 over under.
How many? Yeah.
20 over under. He's over. You always have nice shoes. You're well
I
over.
don't know what the number is.
What are you wearing today?
I like shoes.
Put your foot up on the table. Let me see. What do you got
Those
today?
are nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are nice. Yeah. You can't get the foot up there.
Well, those are nice.
Oh, those are. They're nice.
See, I got into these things. Oh, jeez. I got into these things now. Those are like sneakers. I got those over at Phil's. Johnston & Murphy. It's like wearing sneakers every day. Got a black pair, got a brown pair.
And you can wear those kind of shoes with a suit now, right?
You can. Jay Billis. I think Jay Billis set the ground. Don't you think,
catching
Senator?
up on that.
Senator, don't you think? Jay Billis,
No, I don't think Jay Billis was the first. I think those were.
I'm not saying
that was happening.
I think he kind of standardized the industry.
Hey, you got any pairs of sneakers?
Do I? Yes.
Texter, Emmett Matthews tweeted Sunday that the student section should be behind the baskets at the Coliseum. I fully agree. Better yet, the wall of yellow from the court to the ceiling is tremendously missed. Something needs to be done to give students a better, more visible vantage point. The Coliseum's not as loud as in the mid-2000s when I was a student because the seats have been taken away. Is it possible to repurpose Coliseum seats to help the students out and give them a student section that is seen at every other college basketball arena? Matt in Pittsburgh.
Question for Brad.
Nope, not my area anymore. Out. Sat through a lot of meetings with that same question. I'm out.
The reason why the students were behind the basket, and that's what Emmett's referring to at Xavier, is because the way the facility is built, you can put students behind the basket. West Virginia is unique in the way that the Coliseum is built because there is no from right to the floor that goes all the way up. Obviously, you've got, the height there of that first level. So West Virginia can't do exactly what Xavier. I think that's probably what Emmett was talking about. And to be quite honest, if I'm a student, I'd rather sit at midcourt like they are right now than behind a basket.
Those are good seats. Padded.
Well, now you can stand. I mean, they don't have seats there for those. What is it like? There's just risers now. You just stand.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I want to go to a game occasionally.
Well, you can't sit over there.
What's that?
You can't sit over there.
Standing.
You can't stand over there either.
Okay. I'll stay home.
Students only.
Hello, Scott.
I mean, you can sit elsewhere in the Coliseum. You just can't sit over there.
Thank you.
Hello, Scopes. Hoppy Cubed and Spreads. I have to say, after hearing so many stories over the years about the senator and the many different types of jobs he's had, I feel with all due respect that Dos Equis needs to rethink their person of the most interesting man. There's clearly only one person right for this title, and that's Mr. Brad Howe. I've attached a picture of how my eyes view the senator due to his many exploits. There he is. A lot of things going on.
Wow.
A baseball bat. You wore the Husky dog head. You're on Three Guys. Spokesperson, influencer, Daniels.
The Husky head.
What's 103 CIR? What's that?
It must be written, the radio part of it. Just
okay.
Is that when
you got radio station?
No,
high school station?
High school, yeah, probably.
Got the odds. Got the yeah. That's very good.
That's good.
Equitable was the insurance company, though, not Allstate, but point well taken.
Yeah.
That Husky head, though, that's fun. I've actually, that's the Husky head I've worn.
Yeah.
How's that stay on?
It's heavy.
Yeah, it just kind of sits on you. I mean, it's not going anywhere.
Not going.
Signed not Hoppy or Howe in High Point.
Did you have to do things?
Luckily, I didn't have to do a whole lot. It was at an Extra Mart, was a convenience store. That's where it was done, and it was mostly just like take pictures and there was a Barney mascot there too that kept trying to get me to dance, but I wouldn't want no part of the dancing with Barney.
Yeah, good job.
I finally had to go get a handler and say, "Get the Barney thing away from me." Oh, I'm not talking to Barney. Here to talk to kids, not dealing with Barney. Get him away.
Husky knocks out Barney.
Never wore the Terrapin or the buckskins for the Mountaineers. Moved on at that point.
Texter, as I type this, I'm an episode or two behind. Bryce Ford Wheat and Sam James have both stated they're going to declare for the NFL. Recent years, prior to the demise of eligibility rules, a player could declare for the draft, get an evaluation, then remove his name and come back as long as he didn't sign. Do you or anybody else know what the rules are about that now, if any? I would think that would be prudent for both of those guys to do, but haven't seen the possibility mentioned. You can still do that. You can still get a evaluation as to where you will go. And that's something that nose guard Jordan Jefferson is doing right now.
Isn't Nestor doing that as well?
Yeah, I think Nestor's doing it as well. So, yeah, you can still do that. You can still do that. But I think both of those guys, Sam and Bryce, Ford, Wheaton, they're not coming back. They're done. That's the plan, that they're not. That's not a possible. But Jordan Jefferson, they definitely, if he doesn't go to the league, they want him. And Doug, obviously, they want him. Texter, by the way, speaking of NIL, Hopster.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania has now made it legal for high school athletes to receive dollars, name, image, likeness, and Rodney Gallagher, the Mountaineer recruit, the first to sign an NIL deal.
Really?
Yes.
What's the deal? Do you know?
It's a pavement company, right, Senator? Yeah. Or it was a pavement company.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Gentlemen.
No rules.
Did you notice the first two texts in textual healing from episode 423 were from tornado and hurricane? You breezed right past that.
Good catch.
I saw what you did there, CL. Very nice. I'd like to add to the comments made about episode 422. It was indeed a good episode, not for its humor, as some listeners had texted, but for its insightful discussion of the chaos and confusion that is otherwise known as NIL and the portal. Thank you for your level-headed and intelligent analysis of the situation. CL in Clarksburg. P.S. I think Warren Baker will make a good AD.
Here's the beauty of this podcast, one of the beauties. That line right there, thank you for the insightful discussion of chaos and confusion, otherwise known as NIL portal. Thank you for your level-headed intelligence. I don't know if that's real or if he's joking.
I was thinking the same thing.
I'm not sure if that's a compliment or if that's a taunt of us because
Yeah.
we're clowns sometimes. I don't know which that is.
I was
That
thinking the
kind of
same
speaks
thing.
right to the heart of this
It does.
podcast, doesn't it? So I think, thank you, CL, but if you're calling us clowns, then don't thank you.
Taylor, wide shot, please. Scope, spreads, hoppy. Please find enclosed holiday treats that I picked for all of you in the Kanawha Valley. Enclosed, red and green peanut M&Ms. Yeah, we're already crunching them. Linder chocolates, 4 bags, one for each of you and one for Coach Hunter. Utz chocolate-covered pretzels. And 2 Subway gift cards. I realize these are not homemade, but if my memory's correct, I believe you've all mentioned these in previous episodes. Next holiday, I'll send you homemade sweets from the Valley. Just have to put an order in right after Halloween. The gift cards for Hoppy and Karen to enjoy at their local Subway. My original plan was to do a $10 Boston Beanery card, but they're hard to find down here, so I decided to make both cards of $20 in value.
Wow.
I want to thank you all for the podcast the past 5 years, for giving me laughs when it needed it the most. Also, I still get stopped by people inside the Valley, Kanawha Valley, about my appearance on Sportsline this past summer. I gave a big smile and let them know it was a bucking item that I got off my list to cross off. P1 Jennings Starcher, Merry Christmas and Happy 2023 to you clowns.
Wow.
That's a haul, Jennings. Thank you very much.
Karen will be very thrilled about this.
Subway gift cards. Look
Thank
at that.
you.
That's more than you gave Pash when he worked on Christmas that day.
A, he was Jewish at the time. B, he was the new guy. Whatever happened to him? He didn't do anything.
You should send one of those to Pash and say, sorry,
You know what?
I screwed you with the $5 Beanery gift card.
I saw him just the other day. What was he? He was doing a.
He did a game the other night.
Yeah,
with,
he did. I saw
Breen
him.
was off, and he
NBA.
did a game with Van Gundy and my man from
Mark
St.
Jackson.
John, Mark Jackson. So this was the
He did all right.
Who? Pash?
Pash, even though you hosed him with the Beanery stuff.
You know,
Wouldn't pay him properly
That is
here.
an unfair rap on me. By the way, back then.
Don't.
never-
Don't.
Do you not want? Do you get? We get some gifts here, and we're appreciative when we get these gifts, are we not?
Yes, Hoppy. This next gift you were most appreciative of. Gentleman sent us a thank you card. Here, Hop.
Yeah. I can't read.
I haven't shown you this one. This was from the gentleman in Boulder, Colorado that sent us those items. He said, thanks for the great football season. If you take a number 1, it'll make you mellow. If you take a number 2, it'll make you happy. If you take a number 3, there'll be a 60 to 90-minute lag in your response. And then he said, I'm also sending a bag of regular gummies for Hoppy because he's still scared. Best from our contact in Boulder. Thank you so very much, sir. We do appreciate that. So that's
there are no transfer rules. There's no drug rules. There's no NIL rules.
Yeah. Texter Alex in Greenville, North Carolina, the home of East Carolina University and the home of Bees Barbecue. Hello, I've been listening to the past 100 episodes or so, and it's now a can't-miss podcast for me. Can you explain the difference between the Country Roads Trust and the Trust the Climb Fund? Are they serving the same purpose? And as I said, that's Alex in Greenville, North Carolina. So, short answer is no. Country Road Trust raises money to pay student athletes name, image, and likeness dollars. The Trust the Climb Fund, I don't even know if that's still in existence. I think it went away. And that was for the Mountaineer Athletic Club for their purposes. So 2 separates. Nate in the Kanawha Valley. 3 guys, annual performance review, season is upon us. What is your grade for basketball so far? What needs to improve for Big 12 play? What should our goals be for next year in Big 12 play? Assuming he's talking about next year, he's talking about football. First off, basketball, what's your grade?
B.
Senatore?
Yeah, that's probably right. I might even go B+ given where you came from.
Yeah.
Right? I could go B+ on that. I think they've been off to a really good start.
Yeah, I
would have loved that Xavier win. That's the difference to me. That gets you in the A category versus just a B+, but still been a very good start, I thought.
I give it a B+ as well. But yeah, we got to defend better, consistently defend better. Run offense, as Hugs has been banging consistently, and then we got to rebound better. My 2 biggest things right now would be rebounding, and rebounding. That's 3. As the high school and WVU sports junkie that I am, let's take a trip down memory lane. Tony, tell me how great the 1994 Beckley-DuPont basketball game in the state tournament at the Civic Center was. I would have loved to have attended, but I wasn't even a year old. Ha ha. Love the show. DJ in Monroe County.
Was that with
That was everybody.
That was everybody.
That was
Randy
everybody.
Moss.
That was Randy Moss. That was Jason Williams. That was Bobby Howard. The Beckley team was just So, short answer to your question is it was fantastic. It was electric. It was 11 in the morning-ish, and I mean, that place was hyped. It was fantastic. Like, think of a big Mountaineer game. Like, it's Kansas, West Virginia. That buzz, that zzz. That's what that was. That was really good.
It's too bad Jason Williams didn't come along later in life in the social media era. Have you ever gone back and watched some of his NBA highlights?
Amazing. Yeah. Still to this day.
Unfriggin' believable.
Guys aren't doing stuff nowadays that he was doing.
Amazing.
Yep.
You just didn't see it. It wasn't as widespread. If he would have come along now,
yeah,
incredible.
Texter, thanks again for the best podcast in all of West Virginia. You guys really need to go to the next level, though. If you can negotiate Hoppy 3, why not a TV deal? YouTube, okay, I guess, but there's potential for more. I loved it when Brad got up and began packing a few episodes back during the spirited banter with Hoppy. Also, it would appear that you guys need some holler boy lessons. Lots of ways you can go besides just pronunciation, too. Ever heard of lunium? I think that's the sound you were looking for, but instead of aluminum. Like the moves of Morgantown, hoping for future common sense for the NCAA, coaching staff needs to know what's in the purse. Yeah, true. Rusty in Monroe, another Monroe County text comes in. Monroe County is beautiful. Most underrated county in the state of West Virginia when it comes to just stunning beauty.
That's where you
that
killed
might
the
be
boar.
our next thing. Maybe we should look for some land in Monroe County.
Tough to get, man, because it's gorgeous there. 3 guys. No, I'm not naming you individually. You guys are a team. So Ren Baker will fit in West Virginia well. He has land in Oklahoma, no less. Great show. I love you, idiots. Thank you. In episode 422, 3 guys mentioned that players may also believe their commitment's only 1 year. That got me wondering about the treatment of visiting teams. Back in Hoppy's day, Stories of cold showers and worse. Today, I would think we'd roll out the red carpet because the visitor may be someone you're interested in and pursuing next year. What do you guys say? Rick, not from Randolph County, but I have some land there.
That's a good idea. The opponent comes in after the game. You go over, hey, listen, Brad, it was a great game. You know what? We got a place for you here in West Virginia. Why don't you come on over? Why not? What the heck?
Well, how about, would you ever rule out in a basketball post-game handshake line? And the guy, let's say a guy is walking by and he just like played really well here. Assistant coach whispers in his ear, "You'd be a star here. Call me."
Assistant coach Hug said he did that the other night with Bonini.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, on the TV interview. He said he was joking because they said you took a couple extra minutes there with Bonini's, right? Is that his name?
That's right,
yeah.
Had 20 points. The little guy, he was outstanding. And they said you took a little extra time there in the handshake line. What'd you say to him? Hug said, told him if he ever leaves Navy, he can come here. He said, I'm kidding, of course. But
You know, those guys, I mean, Bonini had a heck of a game. Isn't he he's a freshman, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he played a heck of a game. He was just fearless.
Yeah.
Just fearless.
What you want from guys in the Naval Academy, right?
Yeah.
I was surprised.
Take that
And those guys,
mentality.
it was impressive because, Tony, I'm sure you talked about it too. I mean, these are guys that they're in the Naval Academy, which is one of the best educations in the world, along with, Army. And then they're going to be
With all due respect
pilots,
to
they're
Air
going to be
Force.
submarines and nuclear submarines. They're going to be nuclear engineers.
yeah.
I mean, incredible.
It's amazing.
Hey, real quick here on that one-year commitment. It's got me thinking last night. There's a receiver out of Kent State that West Virginia's offered. Really good numbers. Second leading receiver for Kent State was really good. But, some people wonder about the transfers and why do you transfer, why do you leave? So the guy goes to Kent State. All due respect to Kent State.
Right.
Sure. Golden
Goes to a
Flash,
MAC.
terrific.
He announces that he's in the portal. And the first day that he announces he's in the portal, are you ready for this offer list?
Okay.
You wonder why guys look around. Again, all due respect to MAC schools, but here's who's now on him. He received offers that day from Colorado, Georgia, Maryland, Virginia Tech, Miami, Oklahoma, Kansas, Notre Dame, Penn State, West Virginia, and Pitt.
Wow.
That's the offer list. I'm guessing his offer list did not look like that coming out of
High school.
Pennsylvania. He's a Pennsylvania guy, whippy old guy.
Yeah. Jeez.
How about
That's
that?
incredible.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
It's like nothing that these guys have. I'm talking about the coaches have ever experienced. I talk to them and they just say, "Crazy."
I wonder if how that when you're watching the pros, you'll see they'll always have guys that are from smaller schools, right? Not a
Right.
ton, but there'll be guys. I wonder if now if there'll be fewer because a guy can be at, no offense, a smaller school, and then, hey, I'll go to Georgia.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. You're right. I think there's three tiers now. You come out of high school and go to a school, and then you go to the next school after that, your first college.
Yeah.
Yeah. John in Oklahoma City, happy Friday. Scope spreads Hopgasm. With Taj Austin's name in the portal, I've got a question. Do any of our leaving players channel their inner Emmett Matthews and return to West Virginia should they not find what they think of? Anything's possible, I guess.
That may happen a little more too. I saw Oklahoma just had a kid do that, a tight end.
Came back. Stogner?
Yeah, it might be.
Stogner came back?
Went to South Carolina.
Yeah.
Now he's back.
Is that right?
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, hadn't seen
Austin
that before.
Stogner.
Yeah, that's exactly who it is.
It's
Wow.
like international soccer, just go someplace. Well, you
Oh,
play
he's on
there for a
loan. He
while.
was on loan. He was on loan. He was on loan, Hoppy. Alan in Ripley. Hello. Your recent mention of peachy paterno ice cream from the Penn State Creamery provides an opportunity for me to add to the obscure and provocative sometimes content of this podcast. The year was 1990, and the Nittany Lions would be invading Mountaineer Field. As a student employee of the WVU milk plant, one of our best jobs was making ice cream. Our professor, Dr. Paul Smith, a Penn State alum involved with fundraising for the Ronald McDonald House in Morgantown. His idea was a competition of selling ice cream with proceeds going to the Ronald McDonald House. He had familiarity with the peachy paterno and access to that recipe. Next step was to develop and name a West Virginia ice cream to pit against peachy paterno. We ended up with the Nifty Nealon Fudgeberry. We were told Nifty was his nickname during his playing days. Our recipe was a strawberry ice cream with a fudge ripple. Mighty tasty, if I may say so myself. Well, Nifty Nealon won that competition, but we did not fare well on the field. Great memories. Allen and Ripley. P.S. Who remembers the ice cream sales every Thursday afternoon at the WVU Ag School? A tub of ice cream for $5.
I remember that. Remember when they had that? That was also back when you had those kind of nicknames. Nifty Nealon, Crazy Legs Holly. You know, everybody had a nickname like that. Which
I was just talking about that. I mean, like Red, Stinky, Pokey, Shorty, right? Those are great nicknames. People don't have that. We got Jelly. We got Jelly tomorrow. Jelly's in tomorrow.
But that's the New York thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. Yeah, it's because he's like smooth as jelly, right? Did you ever have a nickname, Senator, as an athlete?
No.
Really? Didn't?
Guns.
Pump.
There's old Guns Hal.
I think his friends would say he was Pump. Just Pump. So this will be the last time that we have occasion to speak before the tickets go on sale for the Hoppy Fest or whatever.
12, 9 a.m.
Monday morning, December the 12th, 9 a.m. The tickets go on sale. The website is the number 3guysbeforethegame.com. 3guysbeforethegame.com. You'll have the list of what's available. We went through that earlier in the podcast as to what you're going to get. It's an experience. It's going to be fun. It's going to be an event. We very much look forward to it. And again, first 50 get them. And that is that. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun.
What if there's 52?
What do you mean? There's going to be more. I mean, there's going to be people, unfortunately, that aren't going to get tickets. And we're going to get calls. I guarantee you, Monday morning it's going to start. I would think this thing's probably going to be done in 3 hours. I don't even know. I don't have an idea. Could be
How
an
are you
hour.
going to handle a call when somebody says, Tony, you owe me?
I say, oh, you crap. I said on the air, 50. I said on the air, it's 50 people, the first 50 to be fair to everyone.
You're going to say, I don't know, you crap, Joan.
Yeah, Joan ain't coming.
No, neither's Laura.
Yeah, she ain't. Yeah, I'm good.
I'm trying to get Karen to come.
Well, that'd be nice.
Well, that's different. It's your beer.
I hope she gets a ticket.
Yeah.
Hey, Karen, if you're listening,
We've said this
wish you
before.
the best of luck.
This is just like the merchandise we have that's available too. It's not like we have a closet full. We don't have tickets setting aside. We don't have the tickets. You got to go in and buy the ticket.
You don't have tickets.
Don't have tickets.
No, it's all on the.
It's all online.
We don't touch a thing
Well, how do you know when somebody shows up?
because they're going to have a ticket.
They're going to have it, but we don't have them to hand out.
Oh.
There is. It helps us. It helps us. It's not like we got six
It's not
tickets.
like we're holding 10 back in his desk drawer there that we can say, okay, come on over. We got you here. We don't have them.
We're doing this, man.
Don't have any.
We're doing the Vegas card dealer. I got nothing, man. We're clean. We're out. 3guysbeforethegame.com brought to us by.
It will be fun. That'll be a pretty cool event.
Nervous.
Huh? You're nervous? It'll make.
I might,
you know the
what?
fact that
I
you're
need a
going to be
little
on
something to calm me down. What do you got? You have anything?
Yeah, I
Number
give you a
two,
little
I think he
bit.
said.
Something
Number
to
two.
take the edge off?
Or yeah, I tell you what, we're going to start at 4. I'm going to give you that one at 2:30. It gives you that 90-minute release. By 4 o'clock, you'll be walking around feeling real good.
You can be over there, pour yourself a Kirch of ale. That's going to be awesome.
Cheech and Chong in there.
3 Guys Before the Game is brought to us by Comax Business Systems, full service, Konica Minolta dealer. Go to Comax Business Systems at comaxwv.com. And by the Burdett Camping Center, the only warranty forever RV dealer in all of West Virginia. Visit them at burdettcamping.com. Certainly wish you all the very best if you are going to try to get tickets for this. And it will be, I don't know how it's going to be, but I do know this. It'll be a memory. One way or the other, it's going to be a memory. On Monday, we return to talk about UAB. Look ahead. West Virginia's off because of final examinations. I got an idea for a special show next week.
What?
We got a former Mountaineer football player. We're going to bring on. We're going to do a little football talk.
That works. I'm not going to be here.
Excuse me?
Not going to be here.
Perfect. Perfect. Now we'll work.
I'll be
well.
down at the brewery. I got to
Pull
finish
it.
up.
I got to pull. I got to keep cleaning up them tanks. Bill said he needs me back. I got to clean the tanks. Our producer is Taylor Kennedy. Taylor will be here. He'll be here on January. Well, yeah.
Is he buying a ticket?
Well, no. January 6th, he'll be here. We're going to take care of Taylor. All right. Thanks for being with us. We be out. See y'all.